Hi, welcome to Culture Shot. I'm going to talk this week about the alignment of values and behaviours. This is a big topic and one that we get asked about a lot. So organisations go through put a lot of effort into discovering what their core values are, working out what it is that they deeply believe in at their deepest levels. And then you're looking for behaviours to align to those so that you've got something to measure. You can find out whether people are actually living those values or not. And part of the reason that I think that we struggle with that is because sometimes we just think too linearly as organizations. We think too linearly as groups of people. You're thinking about a value of efficiency, for example, and the way in which you'll measure it is whether or not people are efficient with company resources. And whilst that's the desired intention, I'm not sure we necessarily get to people's emotional sort of depth with that. I'm not sure we get them to attach their emotional hooks to the value, because they don't necessarily internalize it and understand what it means. It's almost like it's something more for them to do. It's more of a chore rather than something that has sort of earth-shattering consequence, which is kind of what we want it to have, leastways inside our organization. And I've been thinking lately that maybe one of the things that we're doing wrong is we're attaching the values to behaviors way too linearly. So we're looking inside the building when we could be looking outside. Think about if you were to take that value of efficiency, for example, and you were to say, how are we're going to adopt some schools and we're going to help them sort of develop efficient practices with resources, help them get more out of less. That's a really important thing for us to want to do and could be very, very helpful. And in doing so, what you're doing is you're teaching your employees how to live the value. You're letting them go out there and discover and add to that how to live the value, to actually develop it themselves, so that over time what you've got a value that really means something because they've really internalized it. If you had a value that was about proactivity or something like that, you could proactively go out into the market and educate people in ways that are helpful. In South Africa, the one particular problem we have is there are a lot of people who are financially illiterate. They're unbanked. I mean, the banks, I know some of them do this. They spend time out there just teaching people all about sort of basic financial literacy and the benefits of banking, the benefits of sort of being in the system, and through that they're kind of being quite proactive. But I think we can do more than that. I think more companies could do that. We could get more involved and sort of go out there, and partly we're seeding our own market going later on, which is no bad thing. But partly what we're doing is we're understanding how proactivity could really help people, and that could be a very interesting way to live the value. I mean, that applies to banks more than tobacco companies, perhaps. Teaching people how to use your products there, that's a no-no, so let's not go there. And if it comes to innovation or something, if you really want people to be innovative, guys, get them outside of the building, send them to the most innovative conferences in the world. Make that part of the prize, part of an incentive thing. Rather than people getting cash incentives or whatever it might be, send them to great conferences, ones that align to the value that you want. Help them to live it, help them to internalize it, help them to attach their emotional hooks to it. This is what I think the goal is, and I think if we get that part right, then we'll probably find that we can create values that align to behaviors that align to our values much more easily and get much more meaningful impact. So that's what I want you to think about this week. It's a big thing, but I think it's really, really important, and I think we ought to sort of spend a bit more time thinking how we can be less linear in our thinking and sort of much more innovative in that. Have a great week.